get started. All right, everybody, welcome to our show. This is the Blab Show where we talk about what's going on. We have Will Hanke and Russ Henneberry there. G'day, Will.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
I am good, and we're joined by Russ today on his very first Blab. He's a Blab virgin. Hey, Russ. How you doing?
What's up? How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So if you've just joined us, we'd love you to, if you want to join us in the Blab room, we've got some open seats here as we discuss different things that are going on. Will, you're going to lead us off with whatever you've got on your little list there of what's happened the last few days, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat about what that means to marketers and going forward online.
Yeah, let's start with the Periscope Live button. That's pretty cool. So Periscope's come out with a new widget, I guess you could call it, that you can put on your website, and it allows people to see when you're live, when you're actually broadcasting, and when you're not live, it actually shows a link to your profile on Periscope.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little feature, I think. Russ, do you use Periscope at all? Ever use Periscope?
Nope, never Periscope, never blabbed. These are two live streaming things. So that's the next thing I need to cross off my list, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but Periscope sort of jumped out of the box. I think it's leaving Meerkat in its wake a little bit. But yeah, as Will said, you got this little button now that you can stick on your website, and if you've got regular visitors and they come along seeing when you're on, this little button shows you being live. So they can click on over to see your live feed on Periscope. Now, I think that's going to be a pretty cool little feature that they've got there. I wouldn't be surprised if Blab does the same thing too soon. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think so. I know that they're doing two different size buttons, and I think once it really gains the attention of the mainstream, I guess is the word I'm looking for. People will be more familiar with it, and it'll just be something else on your website that makes you look like more of an expert.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think about that, Russ? What do you think about little widgets that show you when you're live doing this sort of stuff?
No, I think that makes sense. I mean, I guess the attraction to Periscope and Blab and any other live streaming is that it is live. And we had Kim Garst from Boom Social on one of our office hours calls at Digital Marketer there, and she talked about Periscope. And I think one of the things that has made it take off is that people just dig being live with people, and so anything that'll bring in. I think Twitter is the main way that people find this stuff because it's such an instant platform.
Right.
But adding something like that to your website seems to make all the sense in the world.
Yeah, Kim's all over Periscope. She's the super queen on Periscope for sure, and I know she does a lot of stuff on Blab as well. But she just loves Periscope, and she's all for it. So you can learn a lot from Kim when she does her Periscopes. That's for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, coolio. Anything else you want to add there, Will? You want to go on the next little topic?
Yeah, I think we can move on. Actually, the rest of the stuff we have is all Facebook related, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
But maybe that's not that unusual.
Facebook changing on a regular basis. That's new.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So one of the new things is that the Facebook lead ads actually went live. Is that today, I think, for everybody?
I think it was yesterday for everybody. I know Molly Pittman and Russ and the guys at Digital Marketer were talking about lead ads recently. But it's just gone live for everybody now, which is pretty cool. Russ, what's your involvement with lead ads and how you've seen those working for people so far?
We've had them, we were part of the beta, so we had them for, I think we've had them for about a week and a half or something like that, and all looks good. The targeting in there is, or the features in there that it comes along with look very promising. Our initial testing showed that our leads were actually a little bit more expensive using these new lead ads. And that started to regress a little bit more towards the mean. I know Dennis Yu at Bliss Metrics he was part of the beta too, and he was seeing significantly lower costs on those lead ads, but our initial testing was showing a little bit higher. But we just haven't had them that long to know enough about them. And the other thing that's a little bit different about these lead ads is that since the conversion takes place in Facebook, you have a little bit less control over the next offer that is made. You do have some control over it, but less control than you would if you drove them out of Facebook and onto your website. So, but yeah, these lead ads, and it's kind of brilliant on Facebook's part, right? Because a lot of the things that you can ask people with these lead ads is just going to add to Facebook's own database of information about their users. Yeah. So, for example, you can run a lead ad that says, what kind of automobile do you drive, right? So then you select, the different the automobile, and of course that not only does the advertiser get that information, but so does Facebook.
So for those that aren't really familiar with what lead ads are, do you want to just give us a quick overview of what does it look like and what essentially does it do for marketers?
Well, the difference with these lead ads is that the entire experience takes place inside of Facebook. So, it's nice that, most, Facebook's always trying to keep people obviously on its platform for as long as possible. And this is one way for them to do that. So you don't have to, one of the problems with them allowing you to run ads is that you run the ad, the click goes off of Facebook. That's not good for Facebook. They want to keep you on Facebook. So the experience takes place 100% inside of Facebook, and they allow you a number of different. I don't know if are you able to share screen or anything in the lab?
No, it's a little challenging to do that.
I'll you guys go ahead and talk. I'm going to pull up a couple things here, and then I can just talk about them.
While you're doing that, what I know from lead ads is that there is the ability to collect different fields. So you've got a choice of different data that you can collect. So you're running an ad, and basically you might have a sign up here sort of button, and when you sign up, it just opens up a little populated field or unpopulated field. Does Facebook automatically populate some of those fields with their email sign up? I think they might.
I think they do. I think that was part of the thing with that working like that, was that it automatically populates some of those.
Hey, you're coming from the dead there, Will. I can't see you. There's an open seat, and I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Woo, spooky.
It's a new cool Halloween feature for Blab. That's really funny.
I'll jump out and jump back in.
No, well, I'm glad you're still there. So these lead ads, basically, you can control the data fields that you're putting in there, so people can actually sign up for different things, which is pretty cool. I mean, you've only been using it for a week or so. Are you using it for just basically easy lead magnets?
I'm not sure how Molly's been testing it, like what we're actually asking for in the ones that we're running right now. But here's some of the fields that so you can ask things like, so basically it's it says create a lead adverts form. What information would you like to ask for? So it's like user information. Do you want their email, full name? And then you can ask additional questions like, what's the size of your company, size of your sales team, primary trade, type of legal service, health insurance coverage status, what's your annual mileage for your auto insurance? Do you have, so there's all these different questions that you can ask. And like I said, the interesting thing is that they're getting us advertisers to pay to collect more information about their own users, which is really pretty smart. But obviously this data is really is really useful for marketers as well. And so I don't know.
So you said there was a place in there to put in what kind of car you drive in, or there's a place where you can ask your own questions, I guess?
Yeah, it's add a custom question, or you can,
nice.
You can choose out of a lot of these different sort of templated questions that they have here.
Huh.
Hey, one thing, Russ, you said that the limit from a funnel perspective, if you're driving somebody to sign up, how do you deliver that product that you're giving them, or that lead magnet? How is the delivery mechanism? What do they use for that?
I'm not even sure. I know that we had to do a little bit of finagling to make these leads move into Infusionsoft for us. It didn't happen outside of the box. So there was a little bit of some API work that we had to do.
It's kind of what I was thinking. There's probably you have to build a custom form and dump things in to a certain place.
Yeah, the delivery is happening the same way it would if it was coming off of any other lead form anywhere once it hits Infusion. But I'm not sure what all needed to happen. But our tech guy had to get in there and get Infusion. And I think initially the leads, I'm pretty sure the leads were initially coming in as a CSV file or an Excel, some kind of spreadsheet file. So
you got a manual step to upload it to.
So we weren't going to have that. So we had to get it tied into Infusion, and that didn't seem to be such a big deal. Like Dennis, I was talking to Dennis Yu again over at Blitz Metrics, and he was saying the same thing, that it wasn't a big deal. But of course, Dennis is like a programmer and stuff. So, for me, it's like, I don't understand it. But in terms of how does any assets or anything get delivered, this experience is the same, because once they hit Infusion, we can set up those automations over there.
Mm.
Yeah, it'd also be interesting. With forms, typically the less fields that they can fill out, the better, or the more conversions you'll get. With some of those fields being automatically populated, you might be able to get away with a little bit longer form and still get that information from people.
Yeah. So if you guys have just joined us, thanks for popping on. And we're talking to Russ Henneberry, Will Hanke, and we're talking about what's going on. We've just had a bit of a chat about Facebook leads and what's going on there. Hey, Will, we're going to switch gears. What else we got on Facebook? There's some other stuff that Russ may be onto all over already.
Yeah.
So
it looks like Ryan Dice is on the call now. So, hey, Ryan, what's up, man?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
So, by the way, everybody on Blab for the first time, down in the bottom right corner, where's that, right here? If you do the little props thing or whatever for Russ, that's what that is, the little hands down there. So you need a lot of props, Russ. So
props.
Yeah. So the other big thing was the Facebook Notes that they just really revamped and updated quite a bit. And I actually went out and posted one this morning just to see how it worked and stuff. And it's pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of LinkedIn Pulse, where you can kind of post in your own blog in there. But some interesting things with that. I don't know if people are going to want to basically copy and paste a blog post into there and give Facebook that content. But the notes themselves do rank in the search engines, which is nice. So it does give us another outlet. The bad thing is it's only for profiles right now. It's not for pages. So you're not able to post a note related to your business on a page. It can only go on your personal profile.
Ross, are you using those notes at all?
No, I don't know much about it. I'm actually seeing if I can get Molly to jump on with me here.
Yeah, it's facebook.com/notes.
So this Blab stuff, you got like an open seat here.
Yeah, we're going to have a seat. I mean, if Molly, you want to jump on, just jump on, click on the
maybe we can get Ryan to jump on. Ryan, jump take that open seat.
Come on, Ryan, you can do it.
Yeah, the notes, like I said, it reminds me a lot of LinkedIn Pulse, where you can basically post some sort of a blog or something like that on there. Could be pretty interesting. And like I said, it doesn't go to the business pages. So you can, of course, share that, paste it in your profile and then share it over to your business page. And then from there, do a boost post or something like that.
Hey, Molly.
What's up, guys? Hey, how's it going?
So Molly's blabbing too. This is your first blab too, isn't it?
Yeah, we were just checking it out.
Oh yeah, good. Glad you're on our blab.
This is terrible. Look at how many more hands she got.
I think Ryan's clicker is stuck on.
It's not fair, right?
Listen, I want more hands. There we go, people.
Sorry, this is like a new toy for us.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, Molly. I think you've been on, so you've been listening to what we've been talking about. I know you just added a note about being whitelisted for Facebook, going back to the lead ads. Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to share about that Russ didn't?
I hopped on like sort of in the middle of that conversation, but yeah, you have to be whitelisted by Facebook to use their API to connect the leads. But you can also use something like DriftRock or AdEspresso to connect to your CRM.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so both of those are great tools, and they already have everything set up and connected, and they integrate with most CRMs.
So you don't have to be a programmer. That's nice.
No, you don't have to do it yourself. You can just use one of those tools.
Very cool.
Cool.
So, Molly, have you had a chance to check out the new Facebook Notes, the revamp that they did?
No, I was actually just hold on just a second, Lindsay. It's like echoing. I'm gonna go in the other room.
Yeah, they just launched this. I mean, they just did the revamp on it. I think officially today. So,
I haven't checked it out. I just Googled it when you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, it's facebook.com/notes. It's been around for quite a long time. I've had it on my profile for years, but pretty much everybody ignores it. In fact,
right.
I think if you go to facebook.com/notes, it actually gives you a feed of what other people are doing on there. I think the first one that came up on mine was 2013. So obviously nobody's using them or weren't using them very much prior to today.
Yeah, I've noticed. I mean, I think I saw notes in like 2007, but it looks like they're using it for content distribution now, which is cool.
What do you think how do you think people will adapt to that? We see LinkedIn going into a more of a content platform than anything else. Do you think that people will pick that up on Facebook, or do you think they're going to use other methods like they have been? Do you think that's a good play by Facebook's on Facebook's behalf or not?
I think it could be. There has to be a reason for people to use it, right? So I guess it depends on how many people start to use it. I don't really know what the benefit is, right? Of, why wouldn't you just publish on, your own medium and then distribute using Facebook, especially because Facebook is a great place to distribute content. So I'm sure they have a long-term plan, and, they'll make it so that, there's a reason to use it. Otherwise, now I'm sure we'll try, just like with LinkedIn Pulse. We've actually realized we've started to use LinkedIn Pulse and then send some paid traffic. So we'll create a post, and then we'll post that a link to that Pulse onto one of our brand pages, run some traffic to see if we can sort of game the system. And I've noticed the last few Pulse articles that we've done, Russ, they're getting a lot of eyeballs. And I think a lot of that has to do with, is if you, publish the Pulse article and you get a lot of traction immediately, especially from paid traffic, wherever it's going to come from, gaming the system, I think it's going to rank higher. So some of Ryan's articles have been doing really well on there.
Yeah, I mean,
go
ahead.
Sorry, go Russ.
Oh, well, you can definitely see like a trend towards third-party site publishing and, Twitter dropping or talking about dropping its 140 character count limit to allow full published articles. You got Pulse, you got Medium, you got now Facebook allowing full, publishing of content into their platform. And again, it goes back to this idea that they want you on their site and they want you to stay there. And going back to like what Molly's talking about, I mean, one of the things we've realized here at DM is that we can use one media asset to grow another one. So a podcast that was launched by a digital marketer that Molly is so much a part of is called Perpetual Traffic. And we used our email list and our blog and other assets to grow that Perpetual Traffic podcast pretty much immediately, catapulted it to new and noteworthy and shot it up to number one in the business section and stuff in iTunes. And not everybody's going to be able to do that. You're not going to have this giant media asset that you can use to necessarily launch a new one, but you can use other assets. Like even if you just have a couple thousand people on Twitter, what you want to be doing is bouncing people from one channel to another, right? So you use Twitter to grow Facebook, you use Facebook to grow your blog, you use your blog, bounce people over to your LinkedIn Pulse articles, and sort of use one media asset to grow another. So
well, it's important, for diversification, and we learned that the hard way. We've had a few sort of run-ins with Facebook where we've lost our ad account or our pages, and everything worked out in the end. But it was kind of a moment where we sat back and realized we needed to diversify our traffic. So how can we use our Facebook following to grow our YouTube channel, right? That's something we're working on right now. And I think it's important. People think, oh, I need to use this media that I built to send traffic to a landing page and generate leads and sales. And obviously that's important. But if you don't also spend time diversifying your traffic sources, you can get yourself in a sticky situation.
Yeah.
So
now we threw Blab into the mix.
Yeah,
too,
this
right?
is kind of cool.
Yeah, you got to use Periscope to grow Blab.
Yeah. Russ was like, I'm blabbing today. I was like, oh, what is that?
Just on that, Molly. So with your LinkedIn Pulse stuff that you're doing, you're using other forms of traffic, Facebook, or whatever it may be, to go to the Pulse article in LinkedIn, and then hopefully from there people will go back to your own site so you can retarget them that way. Is that the sort of method that you're doing?
Using so we'll publish a Pulse article and then post a link to that article on our Facebook pages, and then run those posts as ads. So just paying to get a bunch of really quick, heavy traffic to the article to see if we can, show LinkedIn that this is interesting and, this article should be shown to more people.
It's kind of like priming the pump for it, right? Because it shows like LinkedIn sees a lot of views coming into it. It's getting a lot of thumbs up. I mean, it all starts with having a great piece of content to start with. So you got to kind of start there. But once you do, like here at DM, we're not afraid to throw a little cash at something to get the sort of wheels turning on something.
So is the content that you're putting on LinkedIn, is that original content? It's not something you've posted elsewhere? Right.
And you can't prove otherwise, Will.
I could try.
I don't think you're going to get a Google slap. I don't think LinkedIn's going to get a Google slap for having duplicate.
No, I mean, what I'm seeing a lot of over on Pulse now that's interesting is people publishing things like they'll take a post, they'll put up a new post over on their blog, and then they'll just take like the intro, and then they'll just put a read more link in there.
That's very similar to what you can do with the Facebook notes. I think it's pretty much the same concept.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if that's working for them or not. It's something that we might try to do as well. I just know that one of the things that we're looking at in terms of how we're using our social channels, third party publishing, things like that, is that we want to be for those people that really want to be connected to us. We want to be touching their, we want them to have brand touch points several times a day. So we want them to be on our email list. We want them listening to the podcast. We want them, seeing us over on LinkedIn. We want them seeing us over on Twitter and Facebook. And we want to sort of bounce them around to those different channels because it creates an increased frequency, right, of us touching, increased frequency of brand touch points. It's kind of weird, right, Molly? Because it's kind of less direct response than we've been in the past, where we're like, how does this directly drive like leads and sales? And it's like, well, we
had to focus on that though, like we had to make money and grow the business. And now that we can focus on building other media, it's actually interesting. Sometimes we can't, tie direct ROI back to something. But since we have focused on, adding more channels and, really adding more, getting our voice out there, the business has grown, exponentially. But you'll also notice that we're starting to catch those people that aren't necessarily like early adapters into our world. So maybe they needed to read 10 blog posts and opt in for 5 lead magnets and buy a book, and then they become a lab member. Then they buy one of our bigger products. But I think those are better customers in the end, and not better, but I think that they turn out to be our really brand evangelists, and that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I'm going to switch tactics a little bit. During the week, I think Twitter announced their new Moments, which is basically the news, what you missed coming out on Twitter. Molly or Russ, you guys use Twitter a lot, and have you seen these moments pop up? Do you know much about them at all?
Full disclosure, I don't have a Twitter.
Nice.
I use Twitter in a binge sort of fashion, and I'm sort of binged back on it right now. But no, I'm not familiar with the Moments stuff. I use Twitter mainly as an RSS feed, as a way to stay close to, as a way to keep track of a very small group of people that I want to always know what they're sort of up to. So I kind of stalk them. Twitter. So it's a process I call a short list process, where I have a very small list of people that I keep track of on Twitter. I try to read what they're writing. I try to figure out what events they're at, things like that. I try to figure out where they live, and
full stalking mode.
So no, I'm not familiar with the Moments thing.
Also, just to give you a rundown, and for those that are listening, Moments is basically the big stories that are happening, like trending stories, I guess. Will, is that what you say, trending stories for Twitter?
Yeah, I think when we talked about it earlier this week, we likened it to the Snapchat stories, which are, the latest things that are going on. Yeah,
so Twitter now coming into I think it's their version of Pulse, or not so much Pulse, but it's their version of trending stories that Facebook have got, so that you get to see I think there's BuzzFeed and there's Mashable and some of those big sites that are putting their stories on Moments. And I guess, down the track, it'll probably open up to more publishers and that sort of stuff. It'll be interesting to see if you can indeed select different news stories or news suppliers for your own Moments on Twitter. I just thought it'd be interesting to see if you guys are onto it yet, but I guess it's only pretty new too. Will, have you been seeing much happenings on Twitter with Moments?
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of like Russ. I have these wide gaps of time when I'm not on Twitter at all, and then I'll jump on there and see that nothing changed, and then I'll, maybe every once in a while I'll tweet something, but I don't know, not my thing.
Not your thing. I'm seeing a whole bunch of DM people jumping on today. You guys must be pretty interested in blabs. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it went out in the company chat.
Wow.
Well, the other thing that we have on the schedule is the Facebook reactions, which are first they came out a week or two ago and said there's going to be a dislike button. Mm-hmm. Now they're coming back and saying there's going to be these emojis, which are sad and angry, and there's different ones.
Actually, no, that's funny. I saw on our ad account today. What did it say, Ross? It was. Let me pull it up. It's like they're running tests in Ireland and Scotland today on the ads with the new buttons.
Yeah,
very cool.
Hey Molly, have they got like the dislike buttons in there or something similar? Did I read that?
I think it's going to be like 6 different options, different emotions.
Yeah, I'll paste something in the chat right now. I think there's 6 different ones. They're sad and angry and sorry. And,
well, it is kind of weird when somebody posts something that it's obviously
my dad died, and you like it.
And it's like there's 600 likes on this or something. Like, and you feel weird hitting the like button. And I'm sure that's the experience they're trying to change. But you always got to wonder like how they're going to use that. You know what I mean? Like I'm always wondering like when Facebook changes anything, it usually has some sort of underlying business principle behind it, like we were talking about earlier with these lead ads, where it's like, oh yeah, like you're asking all these questions about you're getting us to pay to ask questions to your users, and then it's going into your into your database too. So that's kind of deviously brilliant,
Yeah, Russ said when we were talking about the lead gen ads, I was saying, wow, there are so many options. Like you can seriously ask people anything. The form filled can be customized. And Russ has made a good point that, they're letting you collect data that they're going to keep, which is great and interesting. But I think that's funny.
Andrew asked earlier, like what we were originally testing with the lead ads. Were we testing lead magnets with those? And
yeah, I've split tested all of our lead magnets, just a regular website conversion campaign versus a lead gen campaign. And we'll actually have a post on the blog about it next week. But the lead gen ads, from everything that I've found, have been more expensive than the regular website conversion ads. And it's also a lot harder to send them, to the Tripwire page. Like they have to click to go to the next page. It's like, yes, I want to visit digitalmarketer.com. So definitely a lower conversion rate on the Tripwire sales page. So definitely not saying that it's a fail by Facebook or anything. It's just a first test, but I think they still have a little bit to go with those.
Hey, Molly, does that page that you click onto, does that have to fulfill all the requirements of a normal page?
Yeah, definitely. So basically it's our Tripwire sales page with the lead magnet at the top for download. But, you also have to think this is just mobile. Although, of course, the website conversion campaigns that we were split testing against were just mobile too. But, it's very obvious that this is beta and they're still testing. But I don't know if it was as, easy as they expected.
If average Joe, you guys have got someone who's hooking up your Infusionsoft and done some API calls to it, but for average Joe, is user friendly as a normal lead page sort of scenario?
Yeah, it's definitely user friendly, and the post next week on the blog will have more of a step-by-step. Facebook has some pretty good documentation too. It's pretty much just setting up a normal ad. You just have to create a new form, which is easy also. I mean, you just say, I want to ask for their name, email, or this custom question, really whatever you're looking for. And if you don't have your account hooked up to, or if you're not using DriftRock or AdEspresso or a tool that's going to allow for integration into your CRM, then you just go to your page and you can download the CSV files and just import them on your own. But yeah, definitely more expensive by like $1 to $2, which is crazy. So almost double what we were paying for a website conversion campaign.
Yeah.
So we're just blabbing on here because we haven't told anybody that yet.
Don't tell anybody. Secret sauce.
No.
Hey, I think, Will, is there anything else you want to add? And then otherwise we'll wrap up today's call.
Yeah, that's all the things that are new in the last 3 days. We do this every Tuesday and every Friday. So who knows what will happen over the weekend. And
for those that don't know about Digital Marketer, Russ or Molly, you want to tell them about the big event coming up in San Diego early next year?
Yeah, go for
it. Yeah, so Traffic and Conversion Summit is February 9th through 11th in San Diego. You can learn more at trafficandconversionsummit.com. We're actually raising the price by $300 in like 2 days. So hop on if you're interested. It's the biggest conversion conference in North America. So we'll have, 3,000 plus entrepreneurs there. We're adding a bunch of new tracks this year. We'll be talking a lot about podcasting, YouTube marketing, all the traffic stuff that we do. I'm sure Russ and I will talk about content and paid traffic and sort of how they've become one essentially. But yeah, it'll be fun. Come check it out.
Awesome. I was there in Australia. I missed you guys. Didn't see you there. I did see Justin there and a few others, but it this will be my 7th Convert TNC event.
Awesome.
So pretty excited to be there. Love it. Great event. Hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Really appreciate you doing that. And if you want to share this replay, just tell a little bird, hit the little blue button over just about there. Click there, and that will share that with your Twitter followers, and people can watch the replay. We're here every Tuesday, every Friday, just talking about what's going on, what's new. So thanks, Russ, for jumping on. Thanks, Molly, for jumping on. Thanks, Will, for being the other co-host. Awesome. And we'll see you guys around later.
This was fun. Thank you.